Yeah, okay. Hello and welcome. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm on StreamYard. You should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me? And let's do a microphone check there, Harney, if you don't mind. The dube was very nice. Yeah, dube is nice. Dube was nice. Oh, I've got a new word too. I got to practice this. Can you hold? I'm just going to put myself on mute for a second. Okay. Huhanet vanach. Huhanet vanach. That's my way of saying, how's it going today in Afrikaans? Huhanik vanach. But I'm too guttural. It's a very soft language. What I forgot about South Africans. South African. God, that's a horrible word. South African. Afrikaans. Let's call it Afrikaans. Is that it's very soft compared to Dutch and German. So I would expect that if you were in South Africa, like in Cape Town or Johannesburg or Pretoria, that if you were talking to people, you wouldn't have spit flying on your reading glasses, which is why I wear reading glasses to prevent people spitting on my eye. Hang on a second, I'll look that up in South African. You know, Google is really quite an amazing thing. Hang on a second. So here's the translation.
Moenie in my oë spoeg nie. Moenie in my oë spoeg nie.
That's difficult. Moini in my hospugni.
Moenie in my oë spoeg nie.
Wow. That takes some getting used to because there's English words in there. And there's well, what looks like French. There's Dutch and German, and but it's not that harsh. It's not a really harsh sounding language. Um, so I would say that if you're traveling around in Pretoria or Cape Town or Johannesburg, and let's say you had to stay in Italy, okay, and you had to write a log journal of how many times have you been spat in the eyes today? That if you were coming from South Africa or where they speak Afrikaans, you would probably say, well, no more than English. But if you go to Holland or the northern part of Germany, because the southern part of Germany and Switzerland are very different. But if you go to northern Germany or Holland, you're going to get spit at. Yeah, there's going to be spit coming into your eyeballs. I, I hope that doesn't get taken down for medical misinformation. So Nick Nax thinks that everybody should learn sign language. Do you know something? I think I jeez. So there we go against, let's say, is somebody going to force me to learn sign language? Or could we get people to learn sign language just by saying, "Hey, how are you doing? Here's some sign language. Hope you like it." Just by practice. Because I think personally, everybody, after the way I've pronounced Afrikaans, I think everybody is going to be going to Google Translate and go English to Afrikaans, and just do simple things like hi, hello, good, bad, uh, English, Afrikaans, um, how are you, who are you. It's really fascinating. Like it's not like anything I've really no, it's like German and Dutch to me, and with a bit of English thrown in, and I could be wrong there, but some of the pronunciation is fascinating. The pronunciation of certain words that, okay, it's not Dutch, it's not German, it's not English. It's just like, wow, how does that happen? Well, it happens when people get isolated on the southern tip of, well, Africa, and all they've ever known is maybe, say, Dutch or German or a bit of English or a bit of this, bit of that, and you throw it all in a pot. And after so many centuries, people are all speaking that language, you know. And that's, to me, it's also, if you go by geography and time, Afrikaans would have to be considered a hybrid, a hybrid language. But most languages are hybrid. Wie geht's mich? Ich gehe gut. Ich denke, das ist der erste und der richtig Antworten. I see. I can barely remember my German. Es geht gut. Danke. Dankeschön. Meine liebe Freunde Wildkreaturen. Dankeschön. Das war gut. Willi hat zwei Unterseebooten. Okay. I was going to play music now, but then I realized I'm on YouTube, and YouTube doesn't let you play music, really. They really don't. And so I'm going to let you know that later tonight, what time is it there now? My God, it is tonight there. I keep forgetting you guys are 5 hours ahead of me. So it's 10 o'clock. So yeah, if you plan on staying up till like 4 or 5 in the morning, or even not, even just 3, I'll probably be on D Live playing a bit of music. I got to do some more housework, and me gusta beber mucho alcohol. Wow, Harney's a linguist, a cunning linguist. A cunning stunt. Um, well, 45 is good for you. I'll probably be just on D Live. Um, I, what do you mean? I don't know how to get the link. I, I don't know how to find the link. I'm a retard. Hang on a second. But no guarantees, though, right? Like there are no guarantees. Wow, people can comment on your D Live even after your stream is done, and it goes on forever. Holy crap. That's just another thing to keep up with, man. It's no wonder no housework gets done around here. Oh, what is D Live? Well, let me put the link if I can. The reason I can't put the link in Knickknacks, and besides, it's not politically correct anymore to say retard. But it's okay if I say I can't put the link into this chat because I'm a tard. Am I muted? Oh, thanks, Wild. Geez, you just freaked me right out. See what a few words can do? My God. Sound is good. So I think of Harney as the soundmeister. Wild Creature started drinking, so Wild Creature's going to have a great time tonight because I'm a little bit drunk. I found myself taking sips of rum and coke and going out for a doobie while I was doing housework, and I got like honestly, I got a lot more done than I thought I could. But I can't. I can barely walk now. Like my hip and my lower back and my feet are just killing me, man. So I'm going to take a break, and if I get an inspiration, I'll go do some more. But the other thing is, fuck it. It's my apartment. What are you going to do? Yeah, like that works. Um, oh my God, Bright's here. And you know how I could tell Bright was here? Because I couldn't read what he was saying at first. It was like South African. Word thee rest in can lie, Jim showed thee. Oh, if I'm lying right now, you're probably right because I barely know what I'm saying right now, Brian. Yeah, no, I'm barely in control. But if that's not what you mean to say, and let me put it up for others to be able to see. Right, the thing that here's what baffles me about you, Bright, honestly. I think you're an awesome guy. I like you. I love you. I just don't understand why you can't spell like other people spell because I think it's in you. Is there something with the eyes, or is it something in your brain? Like, is there something that will not let you? Because I have seen you, Bright. I've seen you spell complete sentences perfectly before. So, tell me, is that okay? So, is that like me having to go to Google Translate to pick up some South African language in order to just say, there, that's communication. It's messed up. And there could be a good reason why there are so many languages and dialects. Is this done has this been done intentionally? This is a conspiracy theory, by the way. Has this been done intentionally to keep humans divided, to keep them locked into countries, to keep them from communicating with each other, to keep them just arguing and fighting at will, and a kind of fighting and arguing that can be ramped up with just some conditioning and some trigger words and some signs and symbols, and just say, hey, let's go fighting, let's create a war. Yeah, Benny Hill has it right. He says here, it's easy to use, but terribly censored now is the YT. Terribly. And here's the next word that's going to be banned is the other C word. How many C words do you already know? Well, I know two for sure. I know the C word that you shouldn't say to women and the C word that you shouldn't talk about if you're going to be talking about. Oh, you know what? Somebody told me the other day. They said, hey, Mr. Ken, do you know there's a bug going around? And I said, no, there's no bug going around. I said, yeah, no, I'm serious. You should look it up. There's a bug going around. So I came home and I looked it up, and holy crap, there's a bug going around. Like, what the hell? So that's two C words. And then the third C word is going to be, well, you've already figured it out, censorship. 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 I can't talk. Like, if I met you guys in person, well, it would depend. It would depend on where we were, who else was there. Um, Rob Flobby, you don't want to see the streets of Ontario. You really don't. You know what? It'll just bring you to despair. It's something I wouldn't inflict on anybody. No, it's too dark. It's too. No, then you'll get a better idea of what's in my brain, and I don't want that either. Yeah, I generally give up too, but I keep coming back to it because what else is there to do right now? I mean, there's a bug going on. You got to be careful, right? Doesn't mean you have to stay inside for like 16 days and not take a shower in six. Doesn't mean you have to do that. You know, I don't know how to. I, I don't know how to be. I've been so wrong about Canada in the past because honestly, I don't watch the news. Like, as soon as I see the news, like if I see a picture of Justin Trudeau, or if I see a caption that reads, Doug Ford announces new initiative today, I just zone, boom, 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 bang, gone. Like, I'll get these little Apple news clips that pop up in the top right of the screen from time to time, but I just zone them out. I don't even bother to read them. I just close them. I can't deal with news. All I can say is things in Canada or Canada or Kanekistan or holy crap, there's somebody looking in my window. You son of a bitch. That's really uncool to look in somebody's window. Could have been a hallucination though. You never know. Could be colors, a lot of traffic going by at night. And oh yeah, cars are parked. Yeah, it's I forgot my street. It used to be really quiet, but now it's a parking lot at rush hour in the morning and at night. It's just wall to wall traffic. Could have been a fan, yeah. It could have been one of the nasty people from England. You know what I've come to conclude about English people? They're nasty. But only if they come from Birmingham and only in certain sections of Birmingham. Um, I don't know. Where was I going? Did you guys just do people want to come up and talk tonight? Or do you just want to type in the chat? Like, what is it? What's going on with you guys? Oh my goodness, it's only 5:15. I started early. And I know this is a first world question, but I've got this magic mouse. Ooh, that could use a cleaning. Um, and it's at 24% right now. Could have been a fan, just a very shy fan. Somebody. It could have been Bright 77, for all I know. You know, maybe his father is a pilot for British Airways or Air Canada, and he just said, "Okay, Robert, get on the next night flight. There's hardly anybody on board. You can come up. We'll get you over to Canada." And it could be that Robert or Bright is sniffing around my apartment now, taking pictures, trying to work up the nerve to like ring my doorbell or knock on the door or however he gets in. But it could be Bright 77. Yeah. Yeah. It could be the RCMP, CSIS, the local police, the oh, who else could it be? Any kind of insurance company has private detectives who spy on people. It could be, oh my God, well, it could be Santa Claus. You know, it could be early this year. Bloody hell. So if people aren't coming up to talk to me, I've learned from past experience it could be because I've never posted a link yet, or I have yet to. Sorry, I have yet to post a link. Um, we could talk about Piers Corbyn. I really think Piers Corbyn is a shill. I really think he's controlled opposition. I local. When I first, well, I know there's no link. What do you think? I'm stupid. Um, No, when I first got to know Corbyn, I had no idea. I'd never heard of this guy. Didn't know he was running for. Listen to that traffic noise. Didn't know he was running for mayor of London. That is correct, right? And I thought, well, this guy seems nice. And then I found out he was related to Jeremy Corbyn, and I thought, oh my God, they're just part of the elite. They're part of the same family of wealthy and or people pleasing and or wannabe sociopaths, um, who just who are drawn to this. Well, it could be money, it could be fame, it could be power. I the the desires could change depending on the object. It could be that all you need is money, or maybe you need sex, or maybe you need a little bit of attention in the media. You need to see yourself on TV. Just like you could say, me, or who else? Is his name BJ? Beliveau Jasson? Um, yeah, it could be all kinds of things, but ultimately, who knows? Ultimately, it's 2021, and I can barely believe that, yeah. But no, I'm not much of a reporter in Canada because I'm not up on the news. I mean, I could take a camera out and I could show you downtown Barrie, and I could take my camera up and go like, "Hey, homeless people, say something happy about Canada," or "Hey, lady who's picking her scabs because they're full of methamphetamine metabolites and they're itchy. Just say something hi for my friends in England." Um, but I don't know if that would be good entertainment or just embarrassing people or making people feel awkward. It could get me into one of those situations where I just might never be able to go downtown again, you know, ever again in my life. Yeah, I don't even want to think about filming in downtown Barrie. I think I could get my head cracked in for filming in downtown Barrie. But it would be fun, actually. If I could work up the balls to go to my grocery store with my camera and just show you what a Canadian grocery store is like, and how 99.99% of the other people in this massive space of fruits and vegetables, and then there's the middle aisles where they try to kill you, um, and then there's the dairy products at the end. So they've got it all worked out. They know your shopping experience. They've studied human behavior in grocery stores since the beginning of grocery stores. It's not like they don't know what they're doing. So I should go there with a camera. First of all, I'll show you that everybody has something, some kind of cloth. Did you guys know there's a bug going around? I mean, holy crap. I was downtown 2 days ago. No, that's not true. I haven't been out in 14, 16. Yeah. No, I was downtown a month ago, and some guy was telling me, he said, sir, there's a bug going around, eh? And I said, nah, not here. And he said, oh, yeah, it's not just the States. It's not just England. It's all about, all about the world. There's a bug going around. And you better be careful. You better be careful because you got to do what they tell you. Because if you don't do what they tell you, ooh, you're going to be in a heap of trouble. Heap of trouble. That's my best southern southern Ontario accent. How to be nice. Let's say for somebody who didn't go past grade 8 in school. Let's say if you stopped going to grade 8, you would keep your accent. But if you kept going through the education system, they take your accent away from you. They teach you without you even knowing it because it's not in the contract that they have to tell you that, or it probably is. I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the contract that they've got to teach you uh, what I would call the CBC accent. So if you're listening to commentators and the BBC, actually it's more pertinent for England. Yeah, we have not nearly the number of accents that you guys do, and I'll state that as a fact. It's overwhelming how such a tiny piece of land with so you know not that many people. Um, it's like you've got the population of two Canadas in a piece of land that is no bigger than southern Ontario, with Lake Ontario included. Like that's how staggering it is, and yet none of you speak the same. You can't. Well, no, I'm just kidding. Um, we don't have that here, but we do have the CBC accent, and you have the BBC accent, and I think there will be a few exceptions on the BBC accent, like maybe some really popular commentators or news presenters or sports readers or um, so for example you could watch a football game in London, England, and it could be commentated by a Scottish anchor or a Northern Irish anchor or a Welsh anchor. Not that I can really tell any. I was watching this show about English accents because I've started to really start. Well, Jed wants to know what I'm rambling about. I'm talking about accents right now. If you want to come up on the panel and talk, just come on up. Except I haven't posted a link yet. Hang on a second there. I should post a link just for the hell of it because you never know what's going to happen. But I thought it'd be more fun to just rant and play music, and then I realized I can't play music here. That sucks. Everybody should write to YouTube about the inability to play music. It doesn't make any sense to me. I was watching a streamer on D Live today. He was once again he's playing highlights, or actually not highlights. He was playing the full segments of it was either a U.S. Senate or congressional inquiry into monopolization of the internet by companies like Facebook, Google. YouTube is owned by Google, um, Twitter, and there's another one. I think it was Microsoft and Apple, and they're all. This has been the third committee that I've seen that's investigating monopolization of the internet. And so one of the questions was asked to Mark Zuckerberg. It was said, "Can you tell me of a company that competes with you in the marketplace?" And he couldn't answer that question. He couldn't answer the question, and the reason is because any competitors, Mark Zuckerberg has already bought out. Facebook has already bought out. And you know they're changing their name, eh? It's already changed. It's not Facebook anymore. It's a brand new name. It's called Meta, Meta. Meta. No, this stream is brought to you by Yakundo. Sorry, let me get this straight. Facundo Baccardi. Facundo Baccardi. It's an Italian name, and it's Cuban rum. I finally gave up the spiced rum because I found out it was part Canadian rum and part Caribbean, is how they described it. So I'd rather go for pure Cuban rum. So Bright's in StreamYard in the backstage, and he wants to come up and talk. Type one in the comment section if you can handle Bright tonight, and type two if you can't, and we'll let the voting decide. No, I'm just kidding. Bright, how are you? Bright.
I was just commenting in YouTube.
Oh, well, just take your time. You're live on air.
I'm slow. I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, I'm slow too, but at least.
Exactly. I keep saying that. I'm slow, but aren't we all? Hey,
Well,
Mister, can I say this?
order.
Mystery Groomer. Wondered who all they was saying he's grooming Bright. And if he is grooming me, at least he's trying to get me walking, Mr. Groomer.
Yeah, who said that? Who said that again, Bright?
I haven't got a clue who it was, but I laughed at it myself.
Okay.
Wow, he thinks he's grooming me.
Yeah, I'm grooming Bright. Yeah, I'm grooming Bright.
So if he is grooming me, he is doing it right because he's trying to get me fucking out walking.
That's right. Well, actually, no.
That's
walking,
no fun done, is it?
walking is just the first step, right? Like once I get you walking, if I can get you
What's the saying? Once more, leaf for
Bright,
my
Bright,
dad, once
Bright,
leaf
Bright,
for
Bright. I know you're slow. I know you're slow, but I know that you know the number one rule of Fight Club. If I'm talking, nobody
Shut the
talks
fuck up.
over me. All right. So we got that straight, right? We have an
Yeah, but
understanding.
it's hard
So
sometimes, man.
Okay, but I for the most part I don't interrupt you, only on special occasions.
You do interrupt
No, I do, but
because
sometimes
you forget things.
Pardon me.
Because you'll forget things
Oh, I
that you
forget
want
things
to
all
say.
the time. Yeah, yeah.
Who's grooming who? Is it me grooming Ken or is he grooming me? Wait, but make your minds up.
Well, I'm grooming you to become a secret agent in Britain.
Well, I'm grooming you because you're fluoridated all the time, forget many things. And that's what I like pointing out to people that they do forget things. I point it out to them and then they get blocked and not liked.
Oh, Bright, I think you should be a little more introspective than that. Don't be.
No, if I was truly being nasty, I'd say, "Oi, dickheads, let me put it this way to you." I'd be nasty like that, wouldn't I? Very blunt to them, but I don't. I am nice about it.
Well, nobody said you weren't nice about it, right?
No, but as soon as the truth comes at them, they don't like it. Shit, he's put me on the spot there. Block him.
Oh yeah, because people go crazy. People go
Don't
absolutely
like the
crazy
truth.
online. They don't like. Well, you can say it's the truth, but I could say they don't like people who interrupts the host all the time. Do you know what I'm
Can.
saying?
Yeah.
Because that
Can't laugh.
irritates some
Funny.
people.
So you're grooming me that way? It'll
No,
sink in. I'll
no.
go, just
Oh,
slow down.
that's not grooming. I'm trying
I
to
know.
change it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying.
I'm just
I'm,
taking the
no,
piss out of that
I know.
comment
I
there.
know. I know. I'm just trying to change your behavior. And
Yeah,
anytime, because you've asked me to change my behavior on a few times, and I've tried.
yeah.
Okay.
Abby, remember when I stated something to you in Jamie's side chat, and you said, "Don't be mean." I said, "Well, I won't be if you stop being a fool." Remember that? You didn't like the comments then. That's why you said, "Stop being mean, Bright." And I went, "Well, I will, but don't be a fool."
Well, see, I don't even remember that. That's a bit of a
Exactly, I
problem.
do.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean. Oh well, okay. Let's put it this way: for the remainder of the time, because I'm not going to be on here for very long. I got some more housework to do, and if I do, I'll come back later on D Live and play some tunes and just some things I found on the internet today that were music that was taking my mind off the cleaning. So I was playing some music from today and I was listening to it, and it just brought up a whole ton of music, and not just music, but sporting events and certain primetime comedy moments that I hadn't thought about in like 30, 40, 50 years even. And I wanted to share those. You can't do that on YouTube, right? So I got to go to D Live for that.
Yeah, no, I probably will go there if nothing's going on, but
Sure.
I
And I,
knows that everybody on me. Do you know every time you show your screen, sometimes I see, oh, he hasn't had a look at his 9 alerts.
hey, are you speaking
I'm
English or
always looking at them all.
are you speaking English or
Tip,
Skeltersvillian? It sounds like Skeltersvillian to me.
Skelter's Villian.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Skelter's
It,
Villian.
sounds, it sounds like Helter
Why?
Skelter. Who's the villain? Skelter's villain. Yeah, because
Scallywags.
Villian is very close to villain, and then you've got Skelter's villain.
I've done that avatar picture, if you remember, Ken, looking at it on one of your posted. You might have not seen it, but I've done a picture of that. Of what's the word you just used, Dan? Villain. Oh, I think you have seen that picture. The villain. Give them a villain. Blah blah. The whole word post about use the two fools as the two fools use thee. I am. You know what amplifies around back, Kate? That full message, and it was about, and it had give them oh no, it wasn't just that one. It was on. It was on. It's on one of your streams anyway. It's got the give them a villain. You know the pieces you couldn't read, but when you do look at it carefully, you'll go, the same villain. Lift the veil. It says veil and villain together in one. Yeah, it was on your stream, Ken. On your other Ken account.
Oh, Ken the Ock, yeah.
No, on the other one, the orange one you've got. Your original one.
Hawkeye.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
OCI.
Why isn't it OCKI?
I don't know. It's just how I like to pick. Because everybody's near enough. We've all got near enough the same name. So when I see them creating a
Okay.
channel,
Okay.
Brian,
So
I
you.
try and mess with it a little bit. So every time I use it, he's talking about this individual. That's
Okay.
why I mess with me left for another reason.
So Bright, with all due respect, you are up here to answer the question that everybody wants to know. Okay. Everybody wants to know why it is you can't spell you will not spell a full sentence with proper spelling. Why won't you do
I
that?
don't want because one, I can't. When I come out with words in my head, sometimes I look at the and and the what you call it,
Pronoun-
spell check is not even trying to correct me, so we'll just
Right.
leave it. I go, leave that the way you just put it. The spell checker plays games with us. You wouldn't know that, Ken, because you can write words correctly.
Okay,
So I
well, yeah.
messed with my letters to get it to say what to say something where you're going, is he saying that? If you didn't know what it says, just ask me, are you saying this? No, I'm not, I'm saying this.
Well, what about this?
All right.
What if you set it into Google Translate and watch the typing? Well, that wouldn't work either. All
So
right,
no,
Bright.
sometimes he likes to correct me on big words. So are you? So that's why. And Mark's even asked me. He goes, "So you can write that perfectly?" I went, "No, I couldn't." Do you know how I had to do it? I sometimes have to go type a sentence in on Google to get what I'm looking for, the word, and then copy and paste it that way. That's things I do that you're not aware of. And I've even pointed that out to Mark because he said, "Oh, you can spell that. You can spell that correctly. Why?" And I said, "Because I've just had to go on Google and write a sentence to get the word I'm looking for."
Okay, so fair enough then.
Just wait. Just wait until we meet each other because it will happen. And you'll go, he can't fucking spell, can he?
Okay,
Because
good.
I'll sit there and say, give me
Right.
some words to say some words to spell, and I'll go, I'll try and spell them. Say, give me, yeah, let's do it now. Give me some words, nice big words to try and
Well,
spell, and I'll
I
try and
think
spell them for you
okay. I'll give
to
you some
show you that
Scottish.
I'm not bullshitting you.
How about I'll give you some Scottish words to start with.
Go on then, any of them, because yeah, if I can
Well,
spell it, I can spell it. If I can't, I
I'm not
can't.
very I'm not very good at Scottish. We have a guest here. His name's Jed Skeptic
Yeah,
Media. Good evening and welcome, sir.
from
Hello, you
Scotland.
couple of glaikit cunts.
Couple of glickhead cunts.
Glaikit.
Glinkit. What's a glinkit?
Glaikit.
Shall I spell
G
that? Shall I
G
spell that, Jed?
G L A I
No.
K E T.
Glake.
Glaikit.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Glaikit.
have spelled that.
Holy
Glaikit.
crap!
Glaikit.
I'm gonna have to
Okay.
Google this.
It's
Glaycat.
that's like glaikit. It's a Scottish slang word for like looking pathetic, like glaikit. It's a good word for somebody that looks like they shouldn't be somewhere. Like it's like a
Stupid, foolish, or thoughtless.
That's what he's talking about.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I found it.
Well, there's your new Scottish word for the day. Glaikit.
Glinkit. Well,
I'll use it somewhere along the line, but it's writing it out the way you just said it. I've got to
but
remember
I'm
that.
a proud Glinkit. I'm a proud Glinkit.
Spell it again, Chad.
What was that? Right, sorry.
Spell it again. Click it.
I don't think there's a particular spelling for it. It's more.
A-T.
It's more. I don't think that it was. I think it was actually said before it was written. Do you know what I mean? It's one of these ones that I think it was a verbal word before it was actually a written word. Which I know it sounds
People
fucked
making
up, but
more as they go. Like give you there the wobble.
could actually that's a good question.
No,
Could that
no,
happen? Could
no,
words
just
actually
in the
manifest
frame.
before the written
Sorry.
version?
Yeah,
Good one.
like Scouts.
Bright. Hang on a second. Bright. I'm trying. I'm the host here, and I'm trying to ask people questions. Trying to keep it orderly. So you're saying that Glaikit is essentially slang in Scottish. It's not
Yeah.
a Scottish word.
No,
So
no,
okay.
it's like a slang Scotch word.
Okay.
So it's even more Scottish than Scotch. It's a slang Scotch.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like
wouldn't be able to spell that
it's even more
because of the I.
inclusive. It's
it's like
even more,
urban. It's like urban fucking dictionary sort of stuff.
I would put a Y. Click it.
so
Glaikit.
it's more inclusive than and more. It's more inclusive and more exclusive at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Aye.
So only you could talk about. So you could say, "How ach, g'day, Ken, you like it?" And I wouldn't even notice it. So oh, that's nice, thanks. Thank you very
Glay
much.
eye kit. The only way I can try and remember that is glay eye kit.
No, well, it's okay. Do you have a pen and paper, Bright?
I
'Cause
do,
this-
but I've not opened them.
Ken's got in front of him, Bright.
I can.
Spells.
I'll put it in the chat for you, Bright. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Got
But
a
it's
pen.
more of a word that
Try
we
with
say
that,
rather
Thomas.
than we. It's more of a word we say rather than we would write down and call. Like we wouldn't text it to somebody or write it on a bit of paper, but it's something we'd say to each other. It's strange that. Have you not got words like that? You would.
Glay. I wouldn't
It's
spell
more
that with an
preferable to
accent
say it rather than
either.
to write it because it doesn't look right when written down. It doesn't come across well in a sentence, but when you say it, it sounds good, sort of thing.
That's a really good explanation.
I could. Yeah. I wouldn't have spelled. If somebody turned up and said spell that, I'd spell it. I'd spell it with a Y. I don't know why.
Oh,
'Cause
well, it's
glay.
pronounced. No, actually, it's pronounced that way. It's GLAY
Yeah.
KIT. Glaykit. That's the
Yeah.
the
So
phonetical
I'm not
spelling.
too bad at me spelling. I'm not saying I'm not crap at. I'm just when I choose big words or words that should be simple. Sometimes I can't, and then I try and get Google spell checker to correct, and it chooses different words, and I go, just carry on with what you were doing, right? Just
Okay,
it saves the.
Robert, let's leave your spelling at this. Try to practice on
Yeah.
the United Nations. Just the United Nations. Focus on that just for a couple of days.
Oh, yeah. I'll spell. This is how I'd spell it.
No, I know how
you said.
you spell it.
Let me spell United Nations to you.
Okay, sure. Don't say
UN UNITED Nations NASTION. Is that right?
well, almost, but that's better than Tutten.
Exactly, almost. So that's why I just play with the words like tut.
No, but see,
I'm
no,
talking tut.
no,
United
right,
Nations.
right. If you just play around with the words, it's kind of like Jed Skeptic Media coming on and saying I'm a Glaykit. I don't understand you. We don't understand you, and we want to understand you better.
Jed, tell
So
him what you told us last week.
Well,
He
sure.
forgets a lot of things, doesn't he?
I can't
Like
remember
it.
2 years ago, mate.
I don't remember.
No,
2 hours.
you can. You said he makes a lot more sense than anybody else. That's what you said about me the other week.
You were making a lot more, like there is certain panels that Okai has, and you do sound like the person that's making sense sometimes because these other panels are so fucking insane.
Yeah,
Like what's his name? The other Scottish guy.
yeah. That's
just
why
as
I've just
handsome
said
as me.
he's gonna love that
But he's
word.
just got
What he
less
put
teeth.
out there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Dennis.
Well, we're not-
Derek. He's gonna love
Yeah.
that comment you made before.
Yeah, we're not. You know what? I made a new rule on my show. We're not going to talk about other people if they're not here, unless you've got something
What
good.
he learned about.
I want to mention somebody. I want to mention
No,
somebody. I don't
no,
know.
I know that.
I don't know if you've heard them, okay. I don't know how long in
The
Flat
one
Earth you've been.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Dad.
But a Flat Earth
So-
legend
no, it's
passed
me.
away recently called
Right.
Jibby Jedi. Have you heard of Jibby Jedi?
Your Jibby Jedi.
Have you heard of him? He's a YouTuber.
No, I haven't. No.
No, he was in all the Flat Earth sort of debates and stuff like that. He was a fucking hardcore Flat Earther, like, but he was reasonable as well. He came on my panels a couple of times, and he was a really funny guy in that. So I just thought maybe you'd heard of him, and he just recently died. So I just think it's shame when you hear someone dying that you've listened to on panels and stuff like that. It's just weird, like, because you feel like there was a connection there somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's just weird.
is.
I've got a weird feeling.
it is, but you know what it is? It's in a way, it's probably not much different from love and grief, right? You know,
Hmm.
you could. Uh, the internet is so it's so wrong because we're not in person. We're not seeing each other. We're not looking at each other's. We're not getting a really good grasp of body language and the nonverbal communication. Even the scent. Like we don't think about it, but we detect all kinds of things, not just the visual. But it's like you get to know people online and they make sense to you, and it's like, oh my gosh, if that person was my friend, my life would be a whole lot better now. And
Hmm.
so even though they're not in your hometown and they're never going to be your true friend,
Hmm.
they're there, and they're there every day, and they're every day for months and years, and you come to love them. That's what I think, Jed. You come to love them, and it might be a different kind of love, but I think it's the same thing. And so when they die, and I'm sorry to hear about that, but
Hmm.
it's grief. It's a sense of loss. It's a sense of, oh my God, there's something that can never be replaced, and you go through the same fucking emotions, you know?
Yep, yep. And it's so, like I just remember like those times again. I was just sitting listening to the panels, and like he was just making jokes and they were making me laugh. Again, I was just sitting there laughing and just thinking back now, kind of like that guy made me laugh. You know what I mean? It's like, and it
Yep.
wasn't a lot of them that made me laugh. These flat earth people, because a lot of them were a bit too serious, took themselves too serious. But Jimmy never took himself too serious, and he was always he was a hard. Like I said, he was to the very end. He was flat earth because he just didn't believe that there was a decent enough explanation for the globe. It's
So
not
what?
he didn't support any real models or anything. He just thought that there was something wrong with the globe.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot wrong with the globe, man.
I think it's NASA, man. I think this is why. And Jibby said this on our panel. Jibby actually said these things. He said that the flat Earth must be the truth because it's still here. And just like a lot of lies and things that are bullshit on the internet, eventually they just fade away. But flat Earth just keeps staying around. And do you know why I think that is? I think it's because NASA, people still can. I still think, even though you're not a flat earther, there's a good chance that you probably thought the first moon landings were bullshit. And do you know what? The only people talking about that were the flat earthers. So
Chad,
people like me that weren't, I didn't believe in flat Earth, but I was looking for people who were talking about like NASA fakery because I thought, nah, those moon landings were bullshit. And then when I look at the ISS stuff, kind of look at the ISS stuff, it looks like they're hanging on wires and shit like that. I'm like, what
Yeah,
the fuck? What the
yeah,
fuck is this? And
and
when
people, Jed, sorry to interrupt, but people actually believe there's a Tesla flying around in space now.
yeah, that's crazy. Kind of like they thought that a Tesla, and apparently there's a live camera again watching this astronaut
Oh
sitting in this car.
no! Oh no!
Fucking it's
Benny,
terrible.
So
But
space
the
travel.
let me
the
finish what I
Earth's
was
not a
saying.
tennis ball.
Just one
Let,
second, Bright.
let me finish what I was saying before I lose my train of thought. Right, so I was one of these guys that was like questioning NASA. I was like, nah, this is fucking bullshit. And there was an old channel called Learn of the Jesuit Order. He questioned a lot of the NASA stuff and he was onto loads of good shit. And anyway, I was looking for communities because like people around me in my day to day life, when I spoke to them about these things like the moon landing, they're a wee bit wishy washy again, and again they thought it was a bit bullshit, and the eyes would glaze over. So I would be looking for communities on YouTube, and I would run into the flat earthers, and even though I didn't believe the Earth was flat, I related with them on so many other levels with the NASA bullshit and all that other stuff. So even though I was a troll with the flat earthers, I made loads of friends in the flat earth. Because a lot of them knew I was just a normal guy. I wasn't some kind of fucking agent, provocateur, or some fucking shit. I was a guy just asking my own questions. Maybe it wasn't the same as them. It's like, what shape is the earth and all that shit. But I was still asking legitimate questions like, nah, NASA's bullshit. I
You,
mean,
Chad, let
you,
me say something to you.
yeah,
I say this to people, but it's not true. Chicken or the egg, which came first? It's the air. It's the egg. We're sent into the earth to look after. It's the egg.
and do you know
It's
what,
not an
okay?
egg.
I was speaking about this to a workmate, and I've got no shame now when I say I don't believe they've got fucking things driving about Mars, and I've got no shame when I say it. And when they look at me, isn't it with disbelief anymore? Ken, when I say fuck off, Ken, they've got things driving about in Mars. They sort of look at me like, I think that's maybe true. Ken, it's like they didn't start questioning me about it because I think everybody's got a little doubt.
I think what. Let me try and explain this, and I'll try to be brief, and then we'll let Bright talk. I think that when you explore the truth about space travel, what you come to is a greater understanding of mind control and the mind control of the masses. And it's only when you've had that experience, like you just related, Jed, where you can watch videos, you can get to know people online. But when you go out and talk to real human beings and find out some of the real reactions from, man, you're absolutely fucking nuts, to your, well, that's a good point. I've never thought of it. That's when you find out the true extent of the scope of mind control, how it can be absolutely people who are so
Yes,
indoctrinated, so influenced by the news, by television addicts. Don't forget, television is a drug. It's probably one of the biggest drug problems we have, except nobody sees it as a drug or a problem because that's what they want. But it fucks up your mind. It makes you anxious, depressed, fearful, ignorant, stupid. It does all those things. And that's not just me saying that. That's not my opinion. That's the psychological research. People have been studying television since television went on the air, and that was in the 20s. They've been studying it. And because people need to know, they need to know for financial reasons how people react to what we're showing them and how we can show them what we want to show them without them even knowing it and also loving it at the same time. These people are geniuses. The people who control media, any kind of media you can think of, including this one right here, right now, are geniuses. And they know us better than we know ourselves.
It makes you wonder, Ken, if what if this wasn't around? What if there wasn't TV? Would this bug be around? Would
no,
or would we be just getting on with it?
we'd just be getting on with it. Even
If
the
there was,
internet's a bit of a drug, isn't it?
well, I no, see, I no. If there wasn't TV,
It is,
if there
Ken.
was,
Because
if
we're
there was
all
not,
coming back to streams all the time. It's still the same because there's still people out there pushing the agenda without them recognising, and that's where I step in and try and show them what they're doing wrong, and they
do
don't
you,
fucking like it.
Bright? Do you remember a very famous quotation called, and it goes like this: "The media is the message. The media is the message." That's from a very famous, gosh, I can't remember his name. He's a professor. He was a professor at the University of Toronto
Oh, yeah.
in media studies, and he was in a Woody Allen movie. Woody Allen. Oh, hang on, just let me let me get that for you because it's the media. Because you might know this actually is the message. Marshall McLuhan. Does that ring a bell with you, Marshall McLuhan?
No.
Okay, so Marshall McLuhan was a professor in Canada, and he studied television and the media. And his most famous quotation is, "The medium is the message." And he even was in a he did a guest appearance in a Woody Allen movie. When I don't remember movies very well, but Woody Allen was just like sitting there thinking, I wonder what Marshall McLuhan would say. And Marshall McLuhan just happens to come out and say he talks. So he was a very famous person in his day in North America, at least. I guess he didn't hit England. But what they're saying is it's not the medium that you have to concentrate on. It's the powers that control the media, the money, the wealth, the power of the people who control media. They will get the message into your head any way they choose to, whether it's radio, television, the printed the printed press, magazines.
So why are we here today, Ken? because they've implanted something in us on the internet. Same difference.
Well, they can implant anything into your heads any way they want to.
Yeah.
The media, the medium is irrelevant. The medium, the way it's transmitted to you, whether it's television. Like Jed asked the question, what if television didn't exist? Would there be this thing called a bug that's going around, going around? And I would say, yeah, they would get it into your head any other way they could.
Radiation.
Because they don't need just information from us, which is so valuable to them, but they need to know how to control the way we think, feel, and behave. That is the very nature of mind control. That's my opinion.
You're not wrong there, Ken.
It's just my way of saying what Jed's been talking about, being in the flat earth community, being all over the freaking internet, and just the only reason I was here because my television broke, and I got on here and I met the most amazing human beings that I've ever met. Nobody like anybody on TV. The people on here are so much more believable, understandable, educational than anybody I've ever met on TV. So
what I realised with the YouTube communities is most of us have got a yearning, kind of, it's like this yearning, or it just feels like there's something wrong. And it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you don't believe in the flat Earth. People want to be part of a community where they all feel like they can relate in some way or another. It doesn't matter. Like you can put your that's what I'm saying. I think we've all got more. We can all relate, and have differences. I think we've got more than we can relate.
I don't doubt that people doubt what's going on. People have questions. They're confused. They're anxious. They're saying, "Wait a minute, none of this makes sense." But what I would say to you, Jed, if you ever get a chance to Google cognitive dissonance and the true meaning of cognitive dissonance and how cognitive dissonance is used against us.
Oh, I know what it means, man,
Okay.
and I've spoken about it before, and I was that kind of leads on to what I was going to say about how unbelievable the I don't know what to call them, normies, but just the general public out there think that the government and the media don't work together and they all have our best interests. I just think that's mind-blowing, how they think they just walk away. They actually think that's true. They think that the media don't lie. They think the government have got our best interests. And they think this is the way of the world. When we know it's the fucking opposite. We know the fucking government are working in cahoots with the media to fucking, like Ken was saying, mind control the population, and they believe in there's some mass outbreak here and we should all be scared. I mean, like, I just can't believe the general population sometimes, like, just how simple-minded they are, or how much they want to, or how much they are just cognitive dissonance, or just to get on with their lives. Yeah. Get what I mean? They're just
but then, Jen, then you're doing the same. You're playing their game. They want you to get mad at the unawakened, right? They want you to forget that there was a time when you weren't watching flat Earth channels. You thought the moon landing was as it was, as you saw it as a little kid. Did. So did I. Like, I went until the age of like 50, 54 before I woke up, and it was earth shattering. Like, when you the worldview. This is something a big. It
wasn't earth shattering to me, but it was wow.
Do you know when it happened to me? Sorry, I'll just butt in while it's still in my head. I remember when I was at my work, it must have been in my early 20s, and there was a guy standing on the lorry, and he accidentally kicked a disc, just like a compact disc, and I caught it with my hand, and I looked at it, and it was a DVD, and it was a Zygist. I don't know if you've heard about Zygist.
Zeitgeist.
Aye, Zygist.
Zeitgeist.
The Zygist. Aye, whatever that disc was.
Say the way you said it.
Yeah.
And Zygist.
Zygist.
No, is it not Zeitgeist?
I don't know.
Zeitgeist. That's it.
It's German.
Like a poltergeist.
No.
Yeah.
Zeitgeist.
Spelling.
Yeah.
Thingies.
like Poltergeist. Yes.
But anyway, I watched that and it like explained about the banking system and all that. I think that was when it started to really sink in. Like, is there something fucking seriously wrong? And that was the one that opened me up. That was the video that opened me up, the Zygus stuff. And that led me on to kind of like got me poking into a lot of stuff, like even into the stuff that the Julia Assange stuff, and I got right into the WikiLeaks kind of reports when they released them. I was right into them, and then when they all got released on the internet, I was downloading them, reading them. I was like, oh fucking, this is amazing.
So you're in your 40s now, right?
No, I'm still in I'm late 30s. I'm 38.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
wow, you
So still you've had over a decade. Sorry, Bright.
I'm looking at Jed and going, wow, he looks older than me. But it's
Cheers, mate.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean it like that, because if you see me, you'd go, you don't look your age, do you? But and people have told me that.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to add a decade onto your life. I didn't mean to do that.
No, I thought you were in your 40s, Jed.
Oh, you did?
So, yeah.
Okay. So that.
No, good on you. Yeah, you're young.
See, Jed, you look old. You look old, Jed. You look old.
Because he's beard.
It was funny, Ken, because I got the best compliment the other day. There, I was doing a job in an old woman's house. I was packing her house for her, and she turned around and she went, "How long have you worked here for?" I says, around 20 years. She went, "No way, you're not that old." She says you look like you look like you just left school. I was like, that's the best compliment I've heard. Like,
wow.
you look like, but I thought she must be in her 80s and she must have cataracts and her eyes are blurry and shit. But I'll take that. I'll take that one. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Think of that question, though, Ken. And Jed, chicken or the egg, which came first? My answer to that, it might be way off the mark, but my answer to that is the Earth. The Earth came first. We came into it to look after. So there's the answer
I think it's the egg, because reptiles were laying eggs before the chicken came in existence.
Supposedly, because we've been indoctrinated with that crap of the dinosaurs.
So there you go. There was eggs being laid before chickens existed.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Now, in my perspective, I'm accepting it as the Earth's the egg.
What came first, the dinosaur or the egg?
Exactly.
That's what Ken was about to say.
That came first. What they're saying is,
people have a go at me and say, somebody had a go at me yesterday and was stating to me, who give you the right to say it the way you're saying it? What was the word they've used? But the reply back to that, because you'll be listening, the reply back to that is you analyse what you're getting given. I'm sure that's what you're doing. So take the words back into yourself and think about the next post you post to me, because I've commented to you, no reply back yet.
So the question with the chicken and the egg.
Maybe that's the individual who said he was grooming Ken. I'm assuming, but.
Okay, well, look, don't worry about it right now. What I'm saying is the argument with the chicken and the egg. Hey, hang on, Brett. Hang on, Brett.
Let me say it, Ken. The comments she comes with, she's got to do a bit more thinking, because the comments she comes, I've always got an answer back for it. Well, in my reality, I am the boss, aren't I? In your reality, you're the boss.
Yeah, whose show is it, right?
What you've stated to me before. The analysing of something getting given to you, I am judge and jury, aren't I? If somebody's giving me something, I'm judge and jury with all of it, aren't I? Because I'm the fucking boss.
Not when you're on my show, Bright. Not when you're on my show. I'm the judge and jury here. So I wanted to say that the argument with the chicken and the egg really goes down to, do you believe in evolution or creation? Do you believe that boom, the little pieces of salt and water and hydrogen and this and that came together.
Have you heard of John LeBon?
John LeBon?
Yeah, I have.
Australian guy.
Go on about him.
He's
Because I've heard
the
about
dino skeptic.
So just talk about him.
He questions
I've heard
the
about
whole
him,
existence of dinosaurs and stuff like that. He reckons all the bones are fake. And
Yes. Well, it's not just the bones were faked. They were demonstrably faked. There were so many instances of museums in the United States that were filled with paper mache bones, like just fake bones. They just, because they only had a piece or two. They had a bit of this, a bit of that, and they just created these creatures.
This guy, John LeBon,
created them.
he's got johnlebon.com. It's a website. He's got this thing called Dino Skeptic. And he actually goes on a tour across Australia, visiting museums, so-called museums with so-called bones. Apparently, there was a farmer that found 2 different dinosaurs in his garden, stuff like that. So he's been making a kind of like a documentary about like the how archaeologists have been faking bones in the past as well.
Yeah.
Pause for a minute, please, before I forget it. Jed, John LeBon, right off topic, but go back on topic. John LeBon, I'm thinking of a singer of the Birdie song, i.e.
No, he's a YouTuber. He's been on my he's been on
no,
my
I know
he's been on my channel a few.
But where you're talking about them, let me say this. Just let me say it before I forget it.
No, Brett, I'm shutting you down. Right.
Right, I'll go myself, Ken.
Okay.
I'll go myself.
Okay. I didn't mean for you to go, Brett. Jesus. Oh well.
I think he was trying to tell me who John LeBon was, but he started talking about some Australian singer, and that was it. No, was that Australian singer? Fuck knows. But this guy, he's if you want to go into somebody he does hangouts and stuff like that, but he does it on his own website because YouTube keeps censoring him and shit like that. So he's got his own website where he does hangouts and stuff like that, and panels and all kinds of stuff. But it's good stuff. Like, I don't know, I've got fossils in my house right now. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah, no, you can find fossils. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the thing that bothers me about Bright is like you said. Let me say this before I forget. And he's probably thinking the same thing too, but he just won't follow the rules, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just that the bones were fake. That was one aspect of it. The other aspect was that it came out at the time of Charles Darwin, who wrote, right? He wrote the book on evolution.
Yep.
And
the origins of species.
The origin of species, yeah.
Yep.
And it was heretical because people didn't think like that back then.
Yeah, he didn't even think like that. I didn't think, because was he like a devout Catholic or some shit?
Ooh,
to the very end.
I don't know about that.
I think he was still pretty religious right to the end, mate.
Okay,
which is a strange one.
That's a strange one.
And I think a lot of people reckon that his wife was actually behind a lot of his theories and shit like that.
Yes, there's a few theories as to who actually came up with it, but whatever he presented was so revolutionary. That's probably how
evolutionary.
That's probably how they got the word, right? They just said, "Well, we'll take revolutionary and drop the R." Yeah, right then. Well, blimey, that sounds good. No, it'd be more like, "Yes, that sounds wonderful." The thing about it is that the bottom line theory says that the theory of evolution was not about the origin of the species or how we came to be human or this form or this shape or whatever. It had to do with causing social Darwinism and the fact that the survival of the fittest meant that it was okay for rich people to dominate poor people. That's the bottom underlying theory of the criticism when you look at it all. It was
there's a natural hierarchy. the strongest and the weak.
And you've got to learn to accept it. You've got
Mhm.
to learn to accept that. Okay, you've just got to learn that. Well, some people are better than others. They're more fit. They're more suitable. They're more adapted. They're just better than you. And you've got to take your place in society and just eat it up and shut the fuck up.
But it's kind of a good way to find out how something is bullshit, because you find something that has a parallel with it. Like you said, like when they start discovering suddenly they start discovering all these bones in the 1850s or something like that, and this is the same time with the bookie Darwin's book Origins of Species come out, and it's funny how that's either a coincidence or there's something going on, and it's the same with the creation of Israel. Again, when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, when the little shepherd boy threw a stone in a rock, and again they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it's funny because that was around the same time they were creating Israel. Again, and it's like, oh, again, is that a coincidence, or is there something more to this? Again, is there something sinister behind this? I think when you have these two kind of coincidences together, it kind of starts putting up flags, like red flags to me. And it's the same with, like you said, when they started discovering bones, and then that was the same time they started talking about the theory of evolution, the theory, because that is still a theory, and we know things adapt. That's the thing. It's not that we don't think things adapt, because I believe that if you had the same species like dogs and you separated them and you put them on one island and gave them a certain food, their teeth would maybe change over certain generations because they're eating that food.
Okay, but that's not evolution. That's speciation. Speciation.
Adaptation.
How species can change, but it doesn't mean evolution. Evolution is jumping from one species to another.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And all of these species forming at the same time. It just doesn't it's not the same thing. It's hard.
You don't think it's interesting that if you watch a fetus going through the whole sort of cycle through all the weeks, it looks like it goes through all the different animals, like reptile and bird, and
No, I never noticed that.
and they all look the same in a way. If you look at all the different animals, they all seem similar at that stage in life, and including humans. We look sort of reptilian at stages, and maybe like a mammal, and then a human.
But don't
That's
forget.
why we've got nipples. That's why males have got nipples, if we know. I've got a third nipple, Ken. I've got a third nipple.
What's the third?
I don't know what to show you, but I've got a third nipple.
Knuckle.
Nipple.
Oh, nipple. Yeah.
I've got a third one. I've got a third one, like halfway down my rib. Like a dog. Like a dog. Can male dogs have got nipples all the way down, like females?
Wow.
Like I've got a third nipple.
Bloody hell. I'm glad Bright's not here right now.
And that could be like an evolutionary thing, like from when I was a dog or a wolf.
Or that could just be a Jesus, yeah.
A mutation. You were about to say a mutation, but you didn't want to insult me. A genetic inbred thing.
But what came first, the fetus or the human?
Good question.
It is a good question, because
I don't know why to just say something outright, because it's like a trick question almost.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry if you felt that. I don't know the answer. Like, that's the thing. I don't know the answer, but it's one of the things when you look at the fraud involved that gets you. And I'm not saying I'm there yet. I'm not saying I'm a Christian, and believe me, I'm not. It gets you closer to God. It gets you closer to a creator. It gets you closer to Muhammad or Buddha, or like, these are the kinds of inconsistencies in the lies that we've been told, when at the same time they've told us the truth in their writings, the writings that go back allegedly ages to the beginnings of Christianity or Islamism. Or Islam, sorry, or Buddhism. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying there?
Mm-hmm.
It again goes back to mind control, and it again goes back to telling people the truth while you're lying to them, just so that they almost they almost have to give up because they. So if in the future they're challenged with the question, they're going to default to what the preponderance of the message is, or what the media is saying, because the media is the message. So if the message is telling you that we've evolved, you're going to say, "Oh fuck, I've been there. I've been there. Evolution, creation. Yeah, I'll just we evolved." And if somebody on the street or on a bus comes up to me and says, "Do you know something? The evolution theory was a lie. We were actually created." They're going to go, "Wow, fuck you, you fucking Christian, or you fucking retard, or you fucking." It's another way to divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Keep people fighting with each other. Keep people messed up in their own minds, so that they can't communicate with each other. They'll just keep reading and hearing and seeing the same shite that
Well,
we.
that must be the number one thing that the powers that be don't want, because it seems to be the number one thing that they keep trying to achieve is dividing the population.
Oh, that's what they do.
That must be the number one, like that must be the top thing, because that's all they do is divide and conquer.
Yeah,
And they didn't. There's no unifying. If it's not between male and female, if it's not between black and white, if it's not between football teams, or
no,
they're just splitting us up into cutting us up into little pieces.
but they try. They put the picture of the Queen on every Canadian piece of currency, just like
Mm-hmm.
you have the Queen. They,
Yep.
they try to unify us, but they divide us at the same time.
I think it's crazy how the British people just accept that there's still a royal family head
It's
of the
insane.
state. Head of the state.
It's
She
insane.
see the Queen. If she really wanted to, if
Yeah.
she thought our government was Westminster, not exactly my government, but Westminster. If she thought Westminster were getting a bit Hitlery or totalitarian, she could easily. She's head of the army. She could send the army in. They're sworn allegiance to her.
Oh,
She could
that's
send the army into that parliament, drag every one of these fuckers out of parliament, and say, "Do you know what? It's now a what do you call a fucking kingdom, or the kingdom of Britain, or fucking whatever." And it already is, but she's got more power than people fucking know. That woman.
or that's what they tell you, right? Like, it's probably not true. It's probably not true that she has the power that we perceive it to be. She is probably.
She's definitely a part of it. She's definitely a part of it. Whether she's top
a
of the
part
pyramid,
of it.
she might not be top of the pyramid, but she's definitely connected to it all. You know what I mean?
No.
Including the Pope and all these other presidents and prime ministers.
But she's an actor. They're all actors. Everybody on TV is.
But you can trace her bloodline back. You know what I mean? You can trace her. That's one thing the Royals done, Ken, is keep records, and you can trace her back, man. You can trace her right back to the Hanoverians and the Saxo Coburgs, or these fucking
so
German.
They've
fuckers.
kept blood. I would argue that they've kept bloodlines, but they haven't kept power. So do you remember? There's this event. I think it's once a year in your country. Your country. I get uncomfortable when I talk to a Scotsman and say your country, and I'm meaning London, England. But there's this event where she goes into Westminster once a year, into Westminster, and she has to curtsy in front of the mayor of London in order to be allowed into Westminster. Does that ring true with you?
I don't know about that. But it's maybe an old law that they dragged in when they made the Houses of Parliament, because it was a sort of thing against the royals. So maybe the royals have to knock. I know there's a thing they have to knock 3 times with this big stick on the door, and they've got all these different rituals.
Yes, there's that. Yes, I think that's for Parliament. It's the same in Canadian Parliament too.
But it'll be totally ritualistic, mate. That's all. You know what I mean?
How do you know?
Like ceremonies stuff. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if she wanted to, I think the Queen could easily take charge of the country with the army.
Yeah, I'm just not so sure, Jeff. I'm just not so sure.
I do, man. I do. Even Obama was bowing to the Queen, man, when he came over to Britain. He was bowing. He was the first actually president to bow to the Queen. I think it was.
He was the first president to bow to the Queen?
I think so. I think Obama. I don't think any other president actually bowed to the Queen. They shook her hand and stuff like that and treated her like any other head of state. But I think the fucking Obama bowed like fucking on his knee and shit.
But don't forget, Obama is married to a woman with a cock.
I don't know, mate. She's a very built woman. Put it that way.
And
She's built like a brick shit house.
And Barack Obama also got educated in Chicago, so he's one of these ultra neoliberals, kind of
a Marxist, like a Marxist type.
Well, more like another actor, just somebody looking for fame and fortune.
Well, he's got an Irish mum, he's got an Irish mother, and apparently they can trace their ancestry back to like where my ancestry comes from, actually, like Southern Ireland.
See, when I think of Irish people, I just think of drunks.
Aye, it's stereotype, mate. The Irish were some of the most, like, the literature and the poetry and shit that came to Ireland back in the day. It was seen as like a place of learned people. But that's why the royal shat all over Ireland, man. Even Ireland had a different law. They had like the Brehon law, and it was like totally different, man. Look into the Brehon law.
The Greyhound law.
Brehon.
Oh, Brehon.
The Brehon law.
Okay, hang on a second. Never heard of this before, man.
Oh, that was how Ireland was kind of run before the royals for Britain took over. And it was a better system. Even the Normans went over Ireland. They were going to put their system in Ireland, and they preferred the Brehon law, and they like integrated the Normans rather than take over. It wasn't until the Anglo-Normans came over Ireland. But the Brehon law, it was a fucking proper.
So the Brehon law still exists in the oral tradition, is that right? Like it's part of the culture?
Well, they still know about it, put it that way. And it's only, I think it only got rid of like a few hundred years ago. So, yeah, it must still exist somewhere in books and stuff. Literature. Even old communities, I bet there's old communities, like old farms and shit that still follow certain Brehon laws and stuff. Just like they follow certain customs, like the old, like Celtic fucking celebrations, like Samhain coming up. We've got Halloween coming up, but it's an old Celtic festival called Samhain. I mean, and there's still people that follow the old Samhain, like, traditions. Like, instead of a pumpkin, they use a turnip.
I don't have time, but I'm just scanning Brehon law or early Irish law.
Oh, it's a deep subject, so you need probably a wee hour or something to sit and read.
Yeah, well, the first thing that keeps coming up is their treatment of women as equal to men.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep. They couldn't have that, man. They couldn't have that.
For the year 600, right? That's pretty interesting.
I think women could have like multiple husbands and husbands could have multiple wives, and they were treated equally. And when it came to like, if they were wanted to divorce or split apart, they were given equal stuff. Women were held just as high as men in Brehon law, and that was way before women's rights and all that shit.
Wow. Bloody hell. That's why I like doing these live streams. I learn so much.
Well, maybe if you look into it and I'll look into it, maybe we can discuss some of the stuff that maybe would benefit today's society now with Brehon law than what we do have. Kind of like this fucking royal law that's been put in.
Or is it civil law? Civil law. Contract law.
But when you go back, it seems to all stem back to kind of feudal kind of days. And fair enough, it is like civil law. We think it is, but I think it's the aristocracy still control And if people think we live in democracies, they're having a fucking laugh. Scotland, I swear, Scotland is the country with the least. Like, the people only own 11% of the land in Scotland. Like, it's all private landowners own most of Scotland. It's like, it's a ridiculous amount. I think there's like Afghan farmers got better fucking like land and acres and shit than Scottish people. Like, they've got more right to their fucking land because they've kept out all the fucking Western powers. Well, they've tried to.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. That analogy to Afghanistan, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
We think we're free in Scotland, and we've got fuck all. We've got nothing. It's all these rich landowners. It's all the families that came over with the Normans and all that shit. And there's loads of families around here that are still connected to like fucking some of the royals back in the day. Like even the land I live on, like I can't remember his name. Is it Hopton, the Hope family. And this land that my house is on, like he still owns all this fucking land. And these guys, the Hope, if you trace the Hopes back, they go back to the Normans when the Normans came over and took over fucking England and took over Scotland. And I mean, so we're still living on their land, and we're still the peasants.
And they
to these people,
they know it, and we don't.
Yeah. And that when we signed for this house, we had to sign a contract that if we found any jewels or any minerals or gas or or oil, and it was his, it belonged to him, not us, even though it's our house and my fucking garden and that. If I find anything precious in my shit, it's his. So we think we live under a democracy, but it's a very good veil they've put over us.
So here's a thing I was thinking of. What do you do with a country or a nation or whatever the hell this is, a geographical landmass known as Canada, where virtually, like, a lot of people own property, but it just tiny little slivers on an avenue or a boulevard or a street. But you look at the vast expansiveness of Canada, the territory, and you wonder who owns that land.
It's the Queen, man. The Queen fucking owns that. The Crown.
Well, they say it's the Crown, but okay. So, two things before I forget. Bright wants to know if he can come back up with drawings within the pyramids.
It doesn't need my permission, man. It's your hangout.
Okay. Just give us 2 seconds, and we'll finish this thought. Oh, see, that's the thing. What the fuck was I talking about?
We're talking about land ownership.
Yeah, land ownership. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay, so this is just the extent of my research, but the Crown is believed to be a pseudonym for Westminster, for the city of the corporation of the City of London, not London or Greater London, but the corporation, or also known as Westminster. That the Queen is just a figurehead. She's just an actor who represents them and gives us all this illusion that she owns everything, when in fact that's not true.
I think it's the other way around, man. I think the royals have learned over history and over 1,000 years that if they impose their will on the people fight back. So they need So in other words, I think the Parliament, Westminster, they're the puppets, they're the pretenders, and the Queen sits back, again rubbing her hand. It sounds like a movie, but that's the way I look at it. The Queen sits back, pretends she's the little old fragile Queen that doesn't do anything wrong, and while the Parliament they take on the stick. Okay, they took on a flack for the people, and that saves the beheading of fucking royals, like in the past, and they take the flack.
Here's the complication, though, that Westminster is not the Parliament. It's the fact that every major bank in the world has some kind of a business within that city. It's the international banking capital of the world. It's a bunch of Freemasons, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
That they're the people who control the not Greater London, but the corporation of the City of London, which is not a part of Great Britain. It's not a part of your country.
Oh, it's a branch of the Crown. Kind of, if you think about like a spider, like a fucking. It's like you've got the Queen, you've got the royals, and then you've got a fucking another kind. You've got the Westminster. It's a branch. It's a branch of the crown. Again, that's all Westminster. There's all these puppets. All these. In fact, all these MPs, if they trace their bloodlines back, because you find that MPs, again, they're not always the common man either. Again, a lot of them are just thrown in because they have got connections or they have got ancestry to fucking lords and fucking sirs and shit like that. You know what I mean? So you find it's just a bunch of rich fuckers playing games with the peasants. And Westminster are kind of at the very bottom of that pyramid. And it works its way up. And I think the Queen might not be the very top. Her and the Pope might be sort of neck and neck, and there might be a very top, a fucking cap to that pyramid. Could be fucking Satan. But they are definitely fucking up there. You know what I mean? And whether they're against each other or working with each other for the greater cause of keeping the peasantry down, thinning out the herd, whatever it is they're fucking doing to us, mind control, fucking keeping us dumb. But we know it's happening, man, and we have to point our finger at somebody, or we're just lost. You know what I mean? And I think it is these rich motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I think the Queen, this illusion that. I think they want you to think that, Ken, that it's a trick. It's a trick. It's really this, and it's not the Queen. That's what they want you to think, man. That's been the fucking game for fucking 500 years, mate. Since the French Revolution. Why do you think the British royals have lasted so long compared to all the other European royals?
Jed, how about this? It's another way to divide and conquer us. You and me potentially arguing about who controls the world when I think we know, we're never going to know who controls the fucking world.
Like I said, mate, I didn't know, but you need to point your finger somewhere, man. And I want to draw a line somewhere. I didn't want to be a sit on the fence or guy. I want to say, nah, I think it's these fuckers.
Well, I think you could start with the rich. Start with that, the rich.
Nah, I'll start with the Queen and the Pope. I'll go for the big dogs right away, mate, and then work my way up. I didn't want to climb this ladder right from the bottom. I'll skip a few levels. You know what I mean? I'll use a cheat and fucking get right up there. And I'll work for the royals up the way till I meet Satan face to face.
You work for royals? You've moved furniture for royals?
Nah, man.
Oh, okay. I don't know, Jed. I think honestly, I think that I saw some.
She's in everyone's pocket, mate. She's in everyone's pocket.
Yeah, but or is that what they want you to believe? Is it,
her face is in everyone's pocket?
Is she not the face of the banking system? Just an actor.
Exactly. Her face is in all the money.
Just an actor who's being paid to represent.
Is she fuck? Oh, it's an actor that's been bred through hundreds of years. Oh, look, and here's the actor after hundreds of years in her breeding, trying to find the right fucking husband, and that Prince fucking Philip for Greece. Let's drag him over so she can breed many of these fuckers. Yeah. That's not acting, mate. That's fucking royal fucking interbreeding. They're fucking they're setting their fucking empire up, man. And this is why the British have lasted so fucking long, because they have fooled you with this illusion. You know what I mean? Like, that's why all the other ones fell, like the French, getting off with their fucking heads. The Spanish they're still there, the Spanish, but they're fucking, they're not even taken seriously, the Spanish. The Dutch are still there.
No, but seriously, like the Dutch, the Swedish have all have monarchies, right?
But they're inferior monarchies.
Yeah. Look, all I know, Jed, is I've seen. I was not that long ago. I was looking at pictures and video of Queen Elizabeth speaking in her 30s, and I wouldn't have fucked her then. So.
No, they're not very good looking, because that's the thing. See, the Queen and Philip, her husband, they share the same grandfather, who was Christian, who was King of I think it was King of Denmark or some shit. But that was their great grandfather, both of their great grandfathers. So they were actually related. That's actors. Oh, let's get some actors that are actually fucking interbred hundreds of years fucking ago. Come on.
Incestuous actors.
Oh, fuck, aye. For hundreds of years. You could call
No,
them actors. You could call them actors. Get what I mean?
that's fundamentally what I think they are, and that's the only difference you and I have is I think they're actors acting for a greater power. That's all.
I think they are acting for a greater power, but I think that greater power doesn't exist on this plane. If you
Oh,
know what I mean.
well, you think they're acting for Satan?
I don't know. I don't know what they want to call it, but they believe in something that we didn't.
Well, you got to point your finger at it, don't you?
They believe in something that we don't, man, or we don't understand.
Oh,
Because they seem to have a goal. They seem to
there's
have a goal. They
yeah.
seem to have a goal.
Okay, Jed, what if you had a crown in your head right now, and you were on YouTube talking to me? What would your goal be?
What would the crown represent?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be here if I had a crown on my head. I'd be probably planning the next fucking big giant bug outbreak or fucking what piece of land I'm going to fucking sell off or I don't know. I wouldn't be here talking to you if I had a crown on my head. Mate.
No, I know. I know that. Otherwise, I'd have royalty on my show all the time because I'm a nice guy. But I think you would come on my show if you had to, if you absolutely had to. And would you not be talking about things like, oh, I don't know, one world government, maybe?
One world government is too ambiguous, Ken. One world government. Who the fuck's the one world government? Oh, I don't know. It's just one world government. No. It's that's too generalized, mate. It's like one world government. It's no. You need, like I said, you need to start working. Okay, you've got the United Nations. You've got all these fuckers at the bottom. You need to start working your way up, and you find yourself get to the bloodlines, mate. When you start working your way up that pyramid, you find that there's bloodlines, and they're connected, they're related. I mean, and they've been doing this for a long fucking time. And this is something you can't deny. You see it, and it goes down to the Queen. It goes down to the presidency, America. They're all related to these fucking bloodlines, mate. Even Obama was. Even Trump was.
No, but
They're all related to these fuckers, man.
no, but so here's an example, and I'm not being critical. I'm just saying you're giving me an example of Obama bowing to the Queen when I tell you the Queen bows to the mayor of Westminster.
Mm-hmm.
And you write off the bowing as tradition or some archaic law. And you could write off Obama bowing to the Queen since he's the first and only. Is that correct?
It's because he was the first and only. So that to me, the Queen, the Queens over history have probably always bowed since Westminster got.
So
Great.
that could have been the tyrant bankers in the city of London, which does not belong to the UK. Just saying, well, it's time to shake things up a bit, give some people something to think about, and maybe reinforce the belief that the Queen is the all-powerful. Because they're both actors, I would say. The Queen is an actor, Obama's an actor, and I would say they do what they're told.
You finish your point.
Yep.
But you think everyone's actors, Ken. That's the only frustrating thing about that. You think everyone's actors, and that's another word, Ken. It's like actors, Ken.
Oh,
It's
no. I'm not saying everybody's acting. There are people behind the scenes. If you want complete power, you're not going to advertise your face on TV. You're going to do it in secret. That's what I would say.
But the thing is, someone like the Queen just can't be secret. We just look at our property, Buckingham Palace. Like, can you just pretend that there's no Queen there? These people have been known to be there for a while, and they have to come across a certain way, and they've came across very well over the past 100 years in Britain, and they've mastered propaganda. The royals have mastered it, mate. They've fucking mastered it in Britain.
Who owns?
Look at the way they go to the streets, and the way the media push. Oh fuck! Honestly, you'd just think that the royals own the media. The way the media's push the royals. The only thing I've got to say that makes me question it is that they've been giving Andrew a lot of stick, the media. But I think that's only because, like, I don't think the media would have the right to attack Andrew unless they were given permission for the royal family. I think the royal family have gave them the nod to attack Andrew.
Well, I don't think the media would incessantly pump up the Queen unless they were told to by men around boardrooms in the city of London. That's that's where we differ. Who's calling the shots?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of like Jed is kind of like asking who runs the world, and
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion, fuck, we're never gonna know that. We just
Now
have,
we're no, man. We're no. We're no.
okay.
And it's easy. That's the thing. I've been through all the avenues. Like I've heard it was the Jews, and then the Zionists
Oh
and the
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
and I've seen all like the finger pointing
yeah.
or the Freemasons.
The Chinese even. You know?
It's the Freemasons. It's like fucking well, all the Freemason lodges I've been around are fucking closed down and they're begging for members. Can like when I walk around like I like going to churches, castles and shit like that. And if you go around these areas, you always find a little like lodge close by. You know what I mean? And I usually find they're quite run down, dilapidated, and again these Freemasons, these club member guys are fucking. They're not in control of fuck all. If anything, they're begging for memberships, for fucking anybody.
Yeah, but I think there's a very big distinction between low level Freemasonry and high
Yeah.
level.
Oh, there's definitely the skull and bones and shit like that. There's no denial.
Shit like that. You know,
But
here's a funny anecdote. I was looking at a stream yesterday, and it was on D Live, I think, and one of the avatars was a picture of Tim Russert. So Tim Russert will probably mean it will probably mean nothing to you. So here's so I asked the guy, is that Tim Russert? And Tim Russert was a newscaster, a journalist, an anchor man for NBC News and the NBC network based in New York City. And so I asked the guy, is that Tim Russert? Because I used to have very fond memories because I used to watch Tim Russert. He wasn't the regular anchor. He was on weekends and special occasions and if somebody was sick. So but he also had his own news show. So the guy said, no, it's not Tim Russert. It's the guy or actually I'm not sure how that went. But he said it's the guy who asked George Bush Jr., and John Kerry, who were running for president at the same time. George Bush Jr. won. He asked them the question on live TV. So I hear you're a member of the 322 or the Skull and Bones Society at Yale. Can you tell us about that? And both of them said, no, no, we can't talk about that.
yeah, well, I seen that. I remember seeing that. You seen that? If you sit and watch any YouTube Illuminati videos or anything, you'll maybe see that clip that you're talking about, Ken.
Exactly.
Can pop up quite a lot.
Exactly.
The skull and bones. You see black and white photographs of them all standing together, kind of at their Yale days, things like that. And these clubs are definitely connected. Again, they're just like these are like little boys' clubs. Even I would even say to go far as to say that these Boy Scouts is like a form of prepping young boys to get into that system of being in a brotherhood. It's like a mini Masons club, and it's like training.
So I think, Jed, my view of who runs the world is a conglomeration of networks, well entrenched networks like Freemasons, like royalty, any royal family, um, um, oil tycoons, heroin tycoons. Because HKSV, you know HKSV does a series on did a series on the Second World War, and he had to do with one of the things I learned about that was the fact that many American billionaires came to their billionaire status based on heroin. And I did a little of my own research and I thought, Holy crap. He's on to something. Where did you go, Jed? Okay. Well, look, I'm out of gas. I'm gonna go take a break, and I'll be on D Live probably around 1 o'clock in the morning. It says Jed is backstage, and Bright, you can come back on. Oh, I got to post the link, but your device is not connected, Jed. That's what it says to me. I'm gonna put up the link, but only for 15 minutes, and then I got to take a break. No worries, Jed. If your phone's overheating, Bright, you can come on for 15 minutes, buddy. Talk about whatever you want. It's been an entertaining night. I have to say, I've been learning stuff. I like that. So I'm just plopping around the internet. Oh, geez, I didn't mean to delete that. Oh, gosh. Here's something for you.
Rooney and Ryan was with me. Rooney and Ryan was with me. Rooney and Ryan was with me. Rooney and Ryan was with me.
That's Afrikaans for don't spit in my eyes. Doom 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 doom. Hello, Bright. Hello, Bright.
Oh, it was off mute. Yeah, Ken, what? Why I chime in sometimes because it was. I don't even want to say that word, but did you listen to me and did you listen to me and JB Rance talk the other day? He come out with the word that I was looking for, and I said, "Brilliant! That was the word I was wanting to say." It's poignant.
Poignant.
No, not poignant. Poignant.
No, no, it's poignant. Poignant. POI.
No, it's not making
I,
sense out of something. That's what I'm looking for that word. The poignant is that
well,
making sense out of something.
I'll give you the
What does
definition of
poignant
poignant.
mean?
Sure, I'll give that to you
No,
right
not
now.
poignant. Poignant.
No, it's poignant. Poignant. JB is
No,
from
that was
Boston.
the word I chose to use, but it was wrong. Because you told me what it meant, and I went, "Oh well, I didn't know that." So I looked it up myself and went, "All right,
Okay,
it does mean that."
what do you think poignant means then?
I'm looking for a word. I'm looking for a
Oh,
word, and JB Rance said it the other day, beginning with a P, and I went, "That's the word I was trying to say to Ken. Thanks for that." Right, poignant, or yeah, poignant. I'm not. It's. You'd have to watch that stream to where he says it because I
but
pulled him up on it. Said that.
I saw that stream, Bright. I
Right.
watched
Well, he said
I
the word.
watched I watched your last stream with JB Rance. I watched it, the whole thing.
So that was the word that you should have said. Yeah, yeah, that's the word you was looking for, right? something that makes sense. Right? What made sense? You know where he was going on about?
Oh, okay. So let me try and help you out here. Okay. So poignant means evoking a keen
Yeah,
sense.
no, that's the word they always use for not what it means because it meant what you said. I always pick the wrong
Yeah, but
when
you see, not everybody knows what I was going to say. You do, but other people don't. I got a show. I've got people watching here, Bright.
I know
You
that.
see, okay. So that's why I have to have some rules. So if I'm gonna read a definition, let me finish the definition before you speak to me. How's that?
Okay.
And I'm not being rude, Bright.
I know, you know.
Okay. So poignant, and there's no like as far as I can recall, there's no such word as poignant. Okay.
Put. No, you'd have to listen to that stream and pick out that P word that JB says and said that's the word I was looking for.
No, I did, but I watched the stream, and I know that JB Rance was saying poignant, poignant.
He wasn't, he wasn't, he
Yes,
wasn't.
he was, he was, he was.
Okay. Right. What posh word I'm trying to was I was always using that word and it's absolutely I should get rid of it. It's wrong, Rob, because Jed's talking about remains, skeletons, sort of thing. That's where the child. I said, right, I've got something to point out to you now. I'm always talking about Kim and Mikey, aren't I?
Who? Sorry.
Kim and Mikey, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, two old people.
Not that I've heard, but
Your
okay.
age, not that you can remember because you're always acting fluoridated, but I always to bring them up in your talk. But anyway, they posted something about archaeology within and pictures within the pyramids of penises. And I went back to them and said, you're supposed to be awake, question everything. Don't stop there. Question what you don't see. They might have been drawn 2021, not back in the day. They might have been put there now to delude us, carry on the game with what they're doing, question everything. Because there's pictures in the pyramids of fellas' penises having ejaculations with what is it called, semen. But I went, no, hold on, question everything. They might have been drawn right in there now, not back then. It was there all along. No, they might be drawing them now, 2021. Just carry on the game that they've always been playing, deluding us, not colluding, but tripping us up all the time, and we think we're right all the time because we won't question nothing. And that's where
Well,
I step in and get blocked for it, don't I, Ken? I'm getting fucking fed up with it.
getting blocked by me?
No, not by you, by certain individuals who I've always been with. But now they started blocking me because I put poignant question, the right questions to them. And I said, what the point of the question is, Jackie, what do you know about this Nijid who follows Tommy many names Robinson? They're connected together, and you're trusting in what you said, and you're having a go at a girl who questioned and pointed out the right statement. She did it and right, and Jackie said bye, and she just said it to me before on that stream that I've posted here for you to watch later on. I said it. I said bye. I'm going. She went, just go, Bright, and I said I'm going bye. The reason is because you were live.
Right,
Sick of making,
right,
Ken, I'm sick of making the points and they're
right,
not making it.
right.
I
Hang
feel
on.
people are
Right,
facilitating.
right, right. Sorry, it's my show. Bright,
I
it's
know,
my
sorry,
show.
mate. Sorry.
Okay.
Just a bit angry there, Ken.
Yeah. So you got to learn to control your emotions. So
Yeah.
Bright, I tried to come up on a stream today. Do you remember Hamilton Homegrown?
No.
Are you
Tell me
sure?
why I should.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Tell me. That's why I'm asking you. Tell me why I should.
Hamilton Homegrown.
Tell me why I should.
Well, were you not on his stream at one time?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
Keep going, and the more you keep going, and I'll go. Yeah, you're right there, Ken. I don't know what you're talking about. So keep elaborating. And I'll go yeah, or I'll go no.
So you sometimes forget things.
No, not all the time. I'm getting put things at me as if like I should have been. I should know that I was there when I wasn't there. That's why I'm saying elaborate, Ken.
Are you not flirted?
No, Ken.
How do you know,
Keep
Bright?
keep going then, Ken, and trip me up instead of playing stupid games with me, Ken.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It's 6:57. It's almost 7.
Are you playing games with me, Ken? Because I don't
Nope.
like it when when people are cheating.
No, if you don't remember Hamilton Homegrown,
No, I don't.
then there's
Should
no
I? Tell me why I should.
no, then there's no reason to. No
There
reason.
is, Ken, because you've just picked a fight with me. Put it that way. Because you're saying something that's far. What's he talking about? You're not explaining yourself, Ken.
So are you saying if I keep you calm, I will learn from you?
Ken, explain what you're talking about.
Bright. If I keep you calm, I will learn from you. Is that not correct?
Ken, talk what you're talking about. Elaborate more with what you're talking about. And if I'm wrong, I'll apologise to you. Tell me what you're talking about, Ken. Because you forget things, Ken, not me.
No, whoa. I forget things, but I think you
But
forget
you're
things.
pushing things at me as if I should know when I don't know what you're talking about. So I'll
No, I
apologise
know.
to you when you correct me, Ken.
So a guy named Hamilton Homegrown told me that I recommended his channel to people, and you were one of his guests.
It's not telling me nothing, Ken.
Sorry?
That's not telling me nothing.
Well, he wouldn't let me come on panel tonight.
That's still not telling me nothing, Ken.
So you don't. Okay. So
Because I don't know what you're talking about, Ken. That's what I'm
okay. All
simply
right.
saying to you.
Okay. All right. Have you been booted off YouTube channels lately?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, Indies. I've been booted off his.
Okay. Well, Bright, it's 7 o'clock. It's midnight in your part of the world, and I am getting out of here. I've had enough. It's been great. You
You
can.
haven't even you haven't you haven't even elaborated it for the people you're talking to, Ken.
Did I not explain myself?
No, not really, because I don't know. Let me ask you the question, side chat. Have you got a jar of glue? What he's talking about? Any of yous? Because I haven't.
Well, most people don't know Hamilton Homegrown. I put him out a few times as a recommended YouTube channel.
Think he does. Indy puts out a few names for me, and I've subbed to them, but he's not one of them
So why did Indy kick you off? Just out of
because I
curiosity.
wrote the word two, and he didn't like it.
Because you what?
because I wrote the word to the way I write it, and he kicked me off and told me why. You know that, Ken? Stop being fluoridated.
Oh, stop telling me I'm being fluoridated,
You
Bright.
know, though, Ken.
Right. Right.
Now, explain to your people who were listening to you, who's this, what you're talking about. Because I need to know, Ken, because I'm bewildered with what you're talking about. You've asked me if I've been kicked off recently off panels. Yeah, I was off Indies. Elaborate with what you're talking about, Ken.
Bright. Whose show is it?
Yours?
Yeah. So if you had your show going, do you not have rules?
No, not really.
Okay.
I rant and rave and he asked people to slow me down. Do the same as what you do everywhere else.
Slow you
No, we
down.
don't have rules.
So keep me calm and
Yeah,
you'll answer me.
yeah, well, okay, there's one rule.
Okay.
Is if
So
it's a rule, just
so
keep me calm.
okay.
I wouldn't say that's a rule.
Yeah, but can you not do that yourself? Keep yourself calm.
I try to, Ken, but you're winding me up.
So it's my fault, not your fault. Not at
Yes,
all.
Ken, because you're winding me up with something I haven't got a clue about.
So I tried to explain it and I
You
can't
haven't
do it anymore.
explained it.
Sorry?
You haven't explained it. You've just said, "Do you know this?" And I'm saying to you, "No, I don't."
Yeah, and I'm saying, okay, so don't worry about it
Well,
then.
elaborate and explain more, and I'll go.
I don't
Oh,
want to.
Sebastian,
It's my
why,
show.
Ken?
It's my show, and I don't
Yeah,
want to.
I feel you're telling
If
porkies, Ken.
okay, fine. So when I come up on your show, then you can grill me about it. Okay? How's that?
That's if you come, because you never come, Ken.
I
To be fair, do you?
well because you're on when I'm sleeping. You're on at like 2, 3, 4 in the
Yeah, that
morning.
one was. Yeah, the other day's one was. It was. We explained it. He asked you to go to bed because you were drinking, and it's
Okay.
wanting you to go to
Okay.
sleep. Yeah, we explained that.
Okay. So we're done now, Bright. Have a good night, my friend, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, that's the comeback, Ken. Don't
Okay.
think it will be.
Okay. Bloody hell. Can you hear my neck cracking? Bloody hell. So that's all, folks. Have a good night. Thank you for coming. I'll be live on D Live. Yeah, in an hour or two, maybe. I got some things to do, and God bless y'all for just watching. Take care.